I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. President Biden brought down the House at the House Democratic Caucus meeting in Baltimore. I want to show you some highlights from this speech. It was incredible. Here we go. This is President Biden talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Play the clip.
Oh, I acknowledge, but it's there. And, you know, a little bit of more Marjorie Taylor Greene and a few more, you're going to have a lot of Republicans running our way. Isn't she amazing? Oof. Ours, the reason she was very specific. I shouldn't digress probably, but she was very specific recently, saying that a poor mother who lost 2 kids to fentanyl, that I killed her sons. Well, the interesting thing is that fentanyl they took came during the last administration.
And here's President Biden talking about Rick Scott. Play the clip.
But all kidding aside, it was amazing. And then there's Senator Rick Scott, the guy who's been saying for a year he wants to cut Social Security, Medicare, now says, never mind. That's what he's saying. And he says he actually agreed with us all along. He really didn't mean what he'd been saying. Well, like I said, I believe in conversion. Maybe they found religion. I sure hope so. But I'll believe it when I see it.
Here's President Biden talking about how he got pharmaceutical companies to reduce the price of insulin and how Eli Lilly just dropped the price of insulin for everyone to $35. Play the clip.
Here's the deal. I called on the prescription drug companies to bring down the price of insulin to $35 to everyone, not just seniors. And today, Eli Lilly, the largest manufacturer of insulin in the United States of America, agreed to do just that. $35. But guess what that means? Every other company making insulin is going to have to lower their prices to $35 because they can't compete.
And here's Biden talking about what the MAGA Republicans believe with respect to prescription drug prices, and that they are upset, the MAGA Republicans are, that the prescription drug prices are decreasing. Play the clip.
Of your Republican colleagues you have to work with, the MAGA Republicans, they're amazing. They're really amazing, their calculations. They say Biden and the Democrats, because they brought down the price of drugs, they're increasing inflation. Well, it has the advantage not only of people being able to live longer and better and be able to afford their prescription drugs, but guess what? It reduces the deficit $158 billion.
I love this part of President Biden's speech here, and he lays out a message that we talk about very frequently here on the MeidasTouch Network, which is that these MAGA Republicans are not fiscally conservative at all. They want to hold the nation hostage and not pay our bills, to cause the United States to default on its debt, to default on its full faith and credit, and that the MAGA Republicans want to generate phony crises in order to bring our country into turmoil. But as you'll see, what President Biden says is, we are focused on making sure America pays its bills and looking out for America here in the Democratic Party. Here, play this clip.
You know, they're sure not acting like the party that cares about fiscal responsibility. Because the truth is, if you look at their record, it's clear they're not the party who cares about fiscal responsibility. Especially not when they're threatening our economic recovery by manufacturing a crisis over whether we're going to pay our debts, our 200-year accumulated debt. When I met with the new speaker, it was a decent meeting. He seemed like a decent guy. He made it real clear how he wants to proceed. He says he won't raise taxes on anyone, on the wealthy or big corporations. He just wants to cut programs. And what I suggested was, instead of making threats about the debt, which would be catastrophic, let's just lay out our budgets. So I agreed that I'd lay down mine on March the 8th, March the 9th, I should say, and he should do the same thing. And we should sit down. It'll be interesting to see what they want to cut and what their numbers add up to. Are they going to cut Medicaid? Are they going to Affordable Care Act? They're going to cut Medicare, veterans benefits, aid to rural communities? Well, we're going to see what they're going to do. But here's how I see it. Under my predecessor, Republicans in Congress voted 3 times to keep paying America's bills without preconditions and without a crisis. They paid America's bills and then, so why won't they pay them now? Well, they didn't throw the country into crisis then, and they shouldn't do it now. If they wouldn't inflict pain on the American people then, why would they do it now? Well, the answer is real simple: politics. But I'm not going to be part of it. You know, they've got no business playing politics with people's lives and our economy. Working with all of you, we're not going to let them either. Look, the question that the MAGA Republicans have to answer is this: are they going to pay America's bills that are already accumulated? Not what we're proposing to spend, already accumulated. Or are they not? Are they going to pay the debt? Are they going to default? It's pretty simple. So let's be real clear about one thing. There is no actual crisis here. This is entirely a crisis of their making if it occurs. Democrats believe in paying America's bills. So the American people can rest assured the Democrats will stick together on this. And folks, here's the bottom line. Our plan is working. It's growing the economy. It's reducing the deficit. It's fiscally responsible. But we got more to do. We've made a lot of progress, but families across the country are starting to breathe just a little bit easier. My dad would say, just a little easier. We just got to keep going, folks.
And finally, here's President Biden talking about some results. Unemployment is down. The economy is doing well. No one thought this could be done, but it is a direct result of President Biden's policies. Play the clip.
You did it. The unemployment rate of 3.4%, as I said, is a 50-year low. 800,000 manufacturing jobs. Where in the hell is it written that we can't lead the world in manufacturing again? I don't buy it. I don't buy it. There's no reason why we will not lead the world in manufacturing again. The inflation has fallen 7 straight months. Gas prices down $1.65 since the peak, and we're going to keep pushing. Our economy is growing at a solid clip, but it's not an accident. It's because we've all worked together, and we have worked together. We've worked tightly together. We passed the American Rescue Plan, which bailed out a whole hell of a lot of Republican governors. They still don't even want to acknowledge it, but it doesn't matter. I said, and you all said, I didn't run to be president for all Democrats. I ran to be president for all Americans, regardless of whether that...
You know, one of the stronger speeches I've seen President Biden give, frankly, one of the strongest speeches that I have seen any president give in modern history, that's for sure. Incredibly proud to have an adult in the room. And as I've said, look, I don't agree with President Biden on every single issue. That would be weird if I did. A lot of issues we disagree on, I'm sure. But I know that he and the Democratic Party are adults in the room. They're not being led by Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert and Kevin McCarthy. Those are the leaders of the MAGA Republican Party. Democrats have adults in the room who are looking out for the interests of the American people, who are grappling with the difficult questions, trying to find solutions. And that's what I'm looking for. I want responsibility. I want civility. I want decency. I want people who are problem solvers and who are actually talking about and confronting real issues that Americans are going through, and not this MAGA Republican nonsense where they're yelling about woke and pronouns and Mr. Potato Head and the green M&M and the purple M&M and Skittles or whatever whatever dumb issues they're manufacturing through their outrage machine to try to distract Americans. I like that the Democratic Party is focused on what matters, real issues that matter to the American people. And I think it's exemplified in this incredible speech right here. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers thanks to your incredible support. So please hit the subscribe button now. And in addition, check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. I think you'll love our content there. Also, please make sure to subscribe to our audio podcast, wherever you get your audio podcast. Just search MeidasTouch and subscribe. It's free to subscribe to the podcast. And again, we're marching to 1 million subs, so please make sure you subscribe here on the YouTube channel now. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas. What a great speech by President Biden.
Our blue wall stopped the red wave and election deniers got denied election. That's why we're celebrating with the new Democracy Prevails team. We've got lots of work to do, but we should all be proud that when democracy was tested, democracy prevailed. You've earned this. Don't wait. Get yours right now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.